It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft. Thank you for joining us. Making waves in Greater West Bloomfield this week, an exciting day out at Town Hall as hundreds packed the foyer and the boardroom for the annual health fair. I had a chance to speak to many of the professionals at the health fair during our live broadcast from the event, including a chat with audiologist Nina Lopayton about the iconic sounds of a Michigan summer and how they may be a bellwether for your hearing health altogether. Take a listen. We're going to be out on the water. We're going to be out at the hunting range, in the parks, playing with our kids. A lot of loud noises that affects your hearing. Joining us now on the program for more is audiologist Nina Lopayton with Direct Hearing here in West Bloomfield. Nina, thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to be a sponsor as well.
Yeah, Direct Hearing, a presenting sponsor at today's event at West Bloomfield Town Hall. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Great advice you can get from Nina and her team at Direct Hearing. And on the topic of some of the sounds of summer. A lot of those are things we want to be able to hear. It sets the scene for us. It brings the ambiance of the summer season, but those loud noises can have a pretty harsh effect on our hearing.
Absolutely. From the fireworks to even doing your lawn work and mowing lawns and in boats, if you're in speedboats or just boats on the water, hearing protection can always be appropriate.
I mean, those sounds of the summer, too, when we don't hear them or we don't hear them as loud,
right.
That might be a sign for people to maybe need to go get their hearing checked a bit. When does that go from being maybe I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing to I might have a hearing problem?
Oftentimes, it's really not the patient that notices, it's more the family. And the family is the one typically who will encourage them to say, hey, come on, time to get your hearing checked. You're not hearing the blinker. You're not hearing the birds. You're not hearing a lot of, as you said, the sounds of summer.
Some of it, too, I would imagine, is we just got a lot of gunk in our ears.
Oh.
We all, and I know I have this question, so many other people have this question, too. When they clean their ears out, what is the proper way for them to do that? Because what we often hear about is some of the methods that people have been using for years might actually be doing damage to the internal portion of their ears.
Right. Well, the adage is nothing sharper than your elbow in your ears. There are over-the-counter products you can use. You can always ask your internal medicine person how to clean your ears. It's really individual. You need to make sure your eardrums are intact before you do anything to make sure that you're not causing further damage as well.
All good advice from Nina Lopayton from Direct Hearing, one of our presenting sponsors at the 16th Annual Greater West Bloomfield Health and Wellness Fair. We are live at Town Hall until 12:30 today, but the event is until 2 p.m. So come on out, West Bloomfield Town Hall, Walnut Lake Road, in between Orchard Lake Road and Farmington Road in West Bloomfield Township. Nina, we talked about some of the signs that you might have a hearing problem. Sometimes it's not you, it's someone that you love,
right.
And you got to get them that advice. If you're having a little bit of trouble convincing them to get that check, what suggestions do you maybe have to move that conversation forward and get them to have that conversation with a professional?
Well, if you notice a family member struggling to hear and understand, I always suggest that you see the whites of their eyes before you start talking to them. Don't talk from another room with the garbage disposal on while they're in the family room listening to TV. We are meant to talk as humans face to face because that's the best form of communication. You can encourage your family member to come to me, Direct Hearing, because I provide the comprehensive hearing evaluation at no charge as part of my mission. A baseline test for anyone, any adult, any age is always appropriate to start the discussion.
An event like this today at West Bloomfield Town Hall, you have such a great chance to interface with other healthcare professionals, but also the community. How important is something like this for a medical practitioner like yourself to get the word out about what you practice each and every day, and maybe an issue when it comes to healthcare that people don't put as much focus on as they should?
Ears usually come in last. They do. They're never really a priority unless there's pain or significant change. Being out here is wonderful. That's why I truly believe in this event and the Chamber of Commerce. Getting the word out is always important. Exposure, just come and see everybody here. It gives you a lot of good information, and you'll get a lot of help.
I got a pun in my head. I have to use it. You heard it here first with Nina Lopayton, an audiologist with direct hearing in West Bloomfield Township. Nina, before we let you go, if people want to get in contact with you, where are you at in West Bloomfield so they know where to go?
On Orchard Lake Road, between 14 and 15. The address is 6960 Orchard Lake Road, Suite 200. I am in between Chase Bank and that Apex apartment complex in West Bloomfield Corporate Center. Call me 248-657-4327. Thanks, Tyler.
You can view our full coverage of the 16th Annual Greater West Bloomfield Health and Wellness Fair on demand right now on CivicCenterTV.com and see all of the segments from throughout that event during the weekend posted all across our social media. Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, YouTube, X, and Instagram, of course, at Civic Center TV. New leaders are emerging in Greater West Bloomfield, and they don't even have their driver's licenses yet. Yes, the kids are taking a front row seat in local government as part of the brand new Junior Leadership Commission, welcoming students to observe West Bloomfield parks, the library board, the township boards and commissions, and so many more as they do their work that makes our community run behind the scenes. I had a chance to talk to inaugural Commissioner Chelsea Coker, a middle school student in Greater West Bloomfield, about what drove her to this new volunteer opportunity.
I think the main thing that helped me feel motivated to join was the fact that I really love supporting my community, and I've had a lot of great role models, seeing that my mom is a principal and I have a lot of different opportunities. It makes it really easy to expand my world, and it really makes me just happy to do it.
You're going to have a lot of opportunities here to kind of see the inside of how our local government works. How do you think that's going to take your learning in the classroom about civics and about the way that government works to a different level?
I think it's really going to give me a more humanized understanding of our community and the world that we live in, because it's not just seeing it from an outside view. Now it's an internal aspect as well.
What are you hoping that you learn along the way that may help you in your outside life, out of the way of learning about government or in the classroom?
I'm really hoping to learn different things that'll help me lead in my future with my career, and then also to help inform others, but I really want to know more about how I'm affecting my community and how I can make a difference.
You've taken the leap, Chelsea, by being part of this first ever Junior Leadership Commission in our community. What message do you have for other students, your own peers and those younger than you, that may be looking toward opportunities like this now or in the future themselves?
I would say just be yourself and be confident, because that's all you need. If you're motivated and driven, that's what's going to build you up for the future.
West Bloomfield Middle School student Camilla Zimkowska also told me about the motivation behind her leadership and what she hopes to learn as part of this newly appointed Junior Leadership Commission.
I'm really interested in helping our community and taking participation to hopefully inspire future leaders.
And so as you look toward the leaders that we have in our community and beyond right now, what do you admire about them and hope to yourself bring and maybe even learn a little bit more about becoming as you join this commission?
I really admire the fact that they are such a big part of this community, and they are all about helping everybody, educating others, and all that stuff.
And so as you observe the work that they're doing, what do you hope that you learn along the way as you see the Parks Commission, the Library Board, the Township Board, maybe even our friends at the Cable Commission do their week-to-week work?
I'm really hoping to learn the way that they educate, the way that they help, so I can go on and do it too.
Why was this the effort that you decided to take? There's so many different ways to volunteer, to get involved in the community. What about this felt special to you?
It really felt special. Some of my friends are doing this, and I'm just really excited about all of this, learning new things, trying new things. Yeah, very much so, yes.
So anything else that you'd like the community to know about how kids can get involved through the Junior Leadership Commission, or anything else you'd like to say as you get ready to take your official oath?
I'm very excited to do this. I'm excited to learn new things, try new things, all that stuff.
The junior leaders are already making an impression in the highest offices across our community. West Bloomfield Township Supervisor Jonathan Warshay shared his pride in Greater West Bloomfield's kids taking a driving role in addressing issues that affect their hometown and that will impact their generation for years to come.
I think it's really exciting to see that the kids are interested in their community. I think environmental concerns, generally, kids are very interested in, and this is a great way to get them involved.
And they're going to be able to see a lot behind the scenes, too, which I think is a great way to highlight the dedicated work that so many people are doing behind the scenes. I'd imagine that's really important for these kids to see as they're growing up.
It's certainly important for them to know how things happen, how decisions are made, what goes involved in all that. And I think after their experience, they'll be ready to take over.
So how do leaders like you then engage further or plan to engage further to make that experience as robust as it can be for these kids and really give them the best educational experience they can have to learn what happens behind the scenes in West Bloomfield?
Well, I think we have to show them why we're doing what we're doing, all the things that are involved that come together, and whatever the issue is, so that they can understand better everything that goes into why we do what we do.
And as for this idea coming to bat, I mean, it came from different commissioners in our community. It's something that's had the support of the Library of Parks and the township itself. How great of an example is this of all of our different units of government coming together to support something that everybody agrees on, helping our kids?
I think it's very important for the township, the library, and Parks and Recreation to work together, and we do that. We have excellent partners, and we really value that relationship.
Really impressive work the kids are off to doing now as part of the inaugural Greater West Bloomfield Junior Leadership Commission through West Bloomfield Township. They'll be observing these board meetings for the months to come, and they got a whole curriculum behind this new initiative here in West Bloomfield Township. If you'd like to learn more, WBparks.org is the place to go. Just search Junior Leadership Commission on their website to get more info how your kids can apply for next year's Junior Leadership Commission when those applications open. And in the meantime, you can see the full ceremony swearing in the inaugural members of this Junior Leadership Commission and hear more from leaders behind the scenes who will be helping these kids explore their local government. That is on our website, civiccentertv.com. On our on-demand page, you can also check our day-to-day schedule to see when it will be replaying on Civic Center TV and on 89.3 Lakes FM. One of the crown jewels of the Greater West Bloomfield community is its public safety, including, of course, the West Bloomfield Fire Department. Well, first responders across the state agree that our community's firefighters and fire leadership are among the best of the best. Recently, Civic Center TV's Jake Schaff spoke to Fire Chief Greg Flynn after he was named Fire Chief of the Year, going over the accomplishment and some of the great things that are happening right now, right here in West Bloomfield with our local fire department. Here's the
Greg, thank you so much for joining us, and big congratulations on the award.
Oh, Jake, well, thank you very much. It's good to be with you here at the Midwest Fire Rescue Expo here in Novi, Michigan.
Wow, a lot of big stuff going on behind you. Really interested in getting into this. Chief Flynn, how did you feel when you first learned that you were selected as the 2025 Fire Chief of the Year by the Michigan Association of Fire Chiefs?
It's very much a high honor and very humbled to be recognized by your peers across the state in the fire chief position, executive officer positions, to receive the Chief of the Year award. So I'm thrilled. I was very surprised. I did an excellent job of keeping this well undercover. And it really is. It's a very high point in my professional career. And you know, Jake, I think it's really important to realize that when an award like this is given to a fire chief or a police chief or one of our department heads in the township, it's a reflection on West Bloomfield Township. It's a reflection on the community that puts their support specifically here behind the fire department and the team at the WBFD, the leadership team that goes out every single day, the boots on the ground that are the real success stories in the community of West Bloomfield, Eagle, Sylvan, and Orchard. It really is an honor to serve as the fire chief in those 4 communities, and even a larger honor to work with the men and women of the WBFD.
You are absolutely right. You just hit the nail on the head. It is a great showcase of everything that the West Bloomfield Township has accomplished, and that's all thanks to your leadership. And you've been recognized for your innovative approach to fire safety. What are some of the key programs or strategies you've implemented that you're most proud of?
I think the big thing that we've really worked on over really the last 11 or so years as the fire chief and with the entire team and the chiefs and folks before at the WBFD that have laid the ground, the framework, the foundation. We are today engaging at a level with the community that I really think we haven't seen before. This new initiative of the fire club at the high school and partnering with the school district. Our engagement with civic groups like the Optimist Club and doing the Holiday Happiness now year after year, and just helping people to recognize that the fire department is bigger than just fire prevention and fire suppression. The scope of work and our integration in the community is vast, and we make an impact. And I think that's what's important, is that we continue to make that impact, and that the residents feel that value and the pride that comes with having a WBFD truck in the station or even on their street when in their time of need.
Such great programs that are making a huge impact all throughout Greater West Bloomfield, and all have played such a big role in getting you this Fire Chief of the Year award. But that's not the only award you've recently taken home, because recently you and your fire station received a major honor at the recent Michigan Week celebrations as well, winning the Dr. Seymour Gretschko Youth Advocate Award. How has that feeling felt on top of winning this award?
It really is, again, a great sense of pride. That award, for those of us that are very familiar with Michigan Week, that is a very, very high honor. And again, the gratitude to the team at the WBFD that every single day is out there making those engagements meaningful, opening our doors and saying, what does a career look like in the fire service? And come on in and take a tour. And that's for anybody that's exploring that. Or if you have a question, how can we help connect you? If the WBFD isn't the right place, how can we help connect you with where we think that you would be a good fit and would be a good fit for you? So this change in attitude and approach to community service through public safety, I think really we are firing on all cylinders at the WBFD. The township elected officials are behind us. The community's behind us. The team that's doing it feels the momentum. And it really is a great day to be part of the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department.
I'd imagine so, and you're certainly right. Everyone in the West Bloomfield community is behind you, Greg. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm speaking with West Bloomfield Fire Chief Greg Flynn on his recent award for Fire Chief of the Year at the 2025 Michigan Association of Fire Chiefs. Now, Greg, how would you say that your training has influenced the way you manage your department and respond to community needs? Because that's played a big role in getting you this award.
Well, it's a great segue to where I am right now. All day yesterday, there were speakers from across the country that came into the conference center here in Novi. And that's exactly what we were doing, is engaging with colleagues across the Great Mitten States, but also with colleagues from across the country that are coming in, sharing best practices, sharing innovative ideas that we can use right here in Michigan, but also this collaboration piece, how we can work together. And that's the type of training, education, professional development, Jake, that's going to produce results for West Bloomfield. Behind me here, all of the equipment, the state-of-the-art in apparatus, in patient care, in fire suppression, in protection, personal protection equipment for our firefighters. It's here, and it's here with an engaged group of professionals and our volunteers that protect the communities that we live in and the communities that we visit through the summer or through the winter as we travel around the great state of Michigan. So that's how the training has really shaped this. The relationship is where I guess I would leave the response to this question is, The relationships that have been forged over my time with the MAFC and within the fire service have really created these outcomes, and I think really set me up for the opportunity. And I'm very humbled to receive this award and continue to collaborate at a local, regional, state, and federal level for the community of West Bloomfield and communities all across Michigan.
Well said, Greg, and you're absolutely right. Those relationships are very important. And speaking of relationships, obviously you couldn't have gotten there alone. You've credited much of your success to teamwork. What role has your team played in achieving this milestone?
Boy, the gratitude that I have for them and the pride that I take in hearing people talk about, let's look at how West Bloomfield's doing that. That is not the fire chief. That is the team of people that, again, make the day-to-day operations happen. And that's everything from our office staff and our folks at Town Hall, making sure that benefits are there for our employees and the pay is there, to our training programs, to our different initiatives for engagement, our fire prevention, our investigation. All of it, Jake, plays into that. And when we empower our people and create a culture that is supportive of giving them space to be successful, be innovative in their own way, this is the synergy and the energy that comes from being part of the WBFD. And that's really what I hope the legacy is, a legacy that will live on, is that you come to the WBFD for a love of service. There's teamwork there, and also the professional pride that comes with being a firefighter, paramedic. And what a great place, West Bloomfield Township, to come and do that for a career, and all the opportunities that will open up for firefighters even well after I'm gone.
I love hearing that, Greg, and you should be very, very proud of all of your success. I got one more quick question for you before we wrap things up. Now that you've received this prestigious recognition, what's next for you as a leader and public servant here in West Bloomfield?
To continue to connect and mentor with the future of the fire service. You know, and I couple that with to continue to professionally develop myself. There's so much to still learn with how we manage people. And that's what I do in my role, that kind of leadership, management, participation within the organization, and empowering those individuals that are out actively doing and providing the services that we have in West Bloomfield. And even thinking broader than that, but seeing that kind of professional development and growth within our organization gives me great confidence and assurance that the future of the WBFD is strong because of the people that make up the WBFD today. And the community should take great pride in that, and our elected officials should take pride in that, because it's their support that has set us up for that success.
And you can see that success everywhere you look, all throughout Greater West Bloomfield. Greg, thank you so much once again for joining us here on the Splash Live. And once again, congratulations on all of your work.
Thank you.
You can congratulate Chief Flynn and see even more updates on the West Bloomfield and Tri-City Fire Departments and their involvement in our community on their Facebook page at WB Fire Department. Again, facebook.com/WB Fire Department. In the meantime, head on over to our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15. A really cool story earlier on this week from Jake Schaff on a brand new piece of equipment that just rolled in the fire station number 5, bringing even more state-of-the-art service to our fire service professionals here in the greater West Bloomfield community. In May, a fire decimated a beloved eatery in neighboring Waterford, displacing customers from their hometown restaurant that's a go-to, and employees from an opportunity to continue to make a living. It's a story that's all too familiar, close to home to the team over at Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant in Keego Harbor. So with Fork and Pint in Cass Lake being in need, Gino and his team are now lending a helping hand. Civic Center TV's Kevin McIntosh spoke to Gino, as well as Fork and Pint General Manager William Schwab, to learn more.
Mr. Gino Santia, thanks for being here, Gino.
Morning, Kevin.
Doing just great, and happy to have you here first and foremost. Now, I want to just speak to the why you are choosing as a business owner to help another business owner. What is your motivation to host this benefit fundraiser?
Well, we're all in the game together, and I've always appreciated them as well as they've appreciated us. We kind of work hand in hand. If we can't handle something, we send it to them, and they do the same. So we've known each other for quite a while. I know the owners, and it's been kind of like a relationship we have.
And that's good to know. I don't think too many people know of the connection or relationship that you may have with other business owners and restaurant owners, or just in general. Some people may see it as all competition, but they don't necessarily see that you all have a relationship. So I'm glad that you painted that out first and foremost. And with that being said, some people may not know that you have also gone through a similar experience with a fire at Gino's Pizzeria sometime ago, around the same time, around the beginning of summer or May or something. So with that being said, how personally meaningful is this event for you to give back to Fork and Pint?
Well, I certainly understand what they're going through, because we did the same thing a couple years ago. And we were blessed to have a lot of support from the community and other businesses as well. And we're very appreciative, and it helped out quite a bit.
Can you, if you don't mind, can you maybe even elaborate a little bit more on the support that you received from the local community during your own recovery, and maybe how that influenced you to give back now?
Well, we had a fundraiser also, as we are having for Fork and Pint. We had one at our place for our staff as well, and like the one that's coming up, we had some support from a lot of entertainers and other groups of people. They came in and gave us their time and talent to put on a show for us, and we sold tickets at the door, and we served some food for everybody, and it came in, and we ended up raising actually we raised $27,000, and it went all to our employees, and they were very appreciative of it.
I bet they would be. And you as a business owner, and you don't even have to go that extra mile to do something like that, but it just speaks to your generosity and the support that you have for the community that actually supports you as well. And with me right here, live on the Splash, by the way, owner of Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant, Keego Harbor, Mr. Gino Santia, just talking about his fundraiser, giving back to help support the Fork and Pint in Waterford, who just recently went through an unfortunate situation of a structural fire to damage their establishment. Now, with that being said, let's just get into the details of the fundraiser, Gino, the what, when, where of the actual event. That way people are informed, please.
Well, it's coming up real soon. It's a week from tomorrow, June the 18th, and it'll start at 6 o'clock at our banquet hall. And it's going to go on probably till 11. Okay. I'm going to let William here elaborate a little more on it, but there's going to be some food, there'll be some cash bar, entertainment, probably some 50-50s and some raffles and stuff. So it'll be as much as we can do to try to raise some money for all the staff of the Fork and Pint.
Well said, well said. And once again, we appreciate you so much, Gino, for your generosity, for putting this event on, and go ahead and making those the donations and everything benefit Fork and Pint and Waterford. Once again, owner of Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant, Gino Santia, we appreciate you again for that information. That'll be Wednesday, June 18th, 6 to about 11 p.m. Gino Santia Hall, I should say. That's on Cass Lake Road in Keego Harbor. Thank you again, sir, for everything that you do.
Thank you, Kevin. And I'll turn you over to William if you'd like to speak with him about the event.
Yes, absolutely. And with us right here, actually joining us on the Splash Live, would be the general manager for Fork and Pint on Cass Lake in Waterford Township. We'll be joined by William Schwab. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thanks for having me, Kevin. I really appreciate all the community has done for my staff. That was the biggest thing, our biggest concern. Even when we're sitting May 1st at 7 a.m. watching the dream burn, the owners, my chef, everybody came and said, what are we going to do about the staff?
And well said. So let's continue to go into that path and discuss that. Now, you've been getting a lot of support from the community in regards to the unfortunate event, but you're making the decision to give back to your employees. Can you just talk about the importance of giving back to your employees during this time?
Well, the building is covered. As a salaried employee, my chef and I are covered by insurance. That's what insurance is for. Unfortunately, insurance just doesn't handle the boots on the ground people, the daily people that made our restaurant special. The server that came up and took your order, the bartender that made your drink, the cook that cooked it back, even the kid that took away your dirty dish, and the dishwasher that made sure your next dish came out was spotless. These people are the ones that are hit the hardest, and it's really hard to get them back whole, especially knowing that we were going into our busiest season. This is when my servers, all my tipped employees made their money for the year, was these next 4 months.
Yeah, no, well said. And when you paint that picture like that, give more context, a lot of people should be able to relate to that. I mean, it's just like any other job for the most part. If something were to happen to your job now, more than likely you wouldn't be able to go back and work, and then you wouldn't be able to make those funds that you need. So for you as a general manager to put that effort in, you and your team, it just speaks volumes. So can you just speak to us as to what it means to you and your team for local businesses, other business owners, to put the effort to help you all as well?
It means so much. And, you know, when I really started running this restaurant, it was a restaurant in the neighborhood, in my neighborhood. I live right behind it. And my goal was to make it the neighborhood restaurant. And I really felt we've done that through all the stuff that we've done through COVID. Even after COVID, we've done for the community. And the community has responded back and given so much back to us because of that. We never felt that we were by ourselves and that the staff's like, oh, well, I guess you just got to find somewhere else to work. We never felt that. We always felt we're still part of the family, and the whole restaurant community. Gino felt the sting of fire himself at his place. He reached out to us. Billy's tipping in. Tim White, his family has ties back to the old Mitch's Day, which is our building before we were there. And so it's all interrelated, all together. It's the roots of the giant restaurant tree that we're all intertwined together.
That's well said. I love that too. And with me right here, live on the Splash, by the way, General Manager for Fork and Pint and Cass Lake Road and Waterford Township, we have William Schwab just talking about the devastating fire that took out Fork and Pint, but it is in recovery, reconstruction process, and we're just talking about the different communities and different businesses that are coming together to support the recovery process as well. So with this event, this fundraiser that we're expecting at Santia Hall on June 18th, can you just say, what message do you hope attendees in the broader community in general take away from this event?
You're not alone. We're not alone. And thank you for reaching out. Thank you for taking care of your community. This is community. I hired very, very local. I had people walking distance away from my restaurant that came into work. You're helping your neighbors. That's what we always felt our restaurant was about. Being good neighbors in the neighborhood. And we felt that from Gino. Gino takes care of the Keego Harbor community. He's very involved in the Keego Harbor community. White Lake, Billy's tipping in. They take care of their community, and they see it as an extension. Waterford is an extension of their community. We really appreciate everything they've done for us, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention the wonderful entertainers that we hired to work at the Fork and Pint, that worked around town, that instantly rallied around and said, hey, what kind of free show can we put together to make sure people will come in and spend money, and we can charge a cover card to get it to your staff. And so I really have to reach out to them. Al Carmichael, Tom Lee, Terry Altman, Daniel Bernard. These guys really stepped up to the plate. We've got some more coming out to Gino's. It's going to be a good time. You'll have a lot of fun. You'll make a lot of people very, very happy. And you'll feed some people and cover some mortgages and some car payments. And it'll make you feel good.
Yeah, absolutely with that as well. And we want to thank the fire department from our communities for coming out and handling that when they did. Obviously there was some damage and it's still in the process of being reconstructed, but nonetheless, it could have been way worse. The timing could have been different. So we want to thank our fire departments for getting out there as well. And William, while we still have you here, the details of the event, again, for anyone who just joined us, the details of that fundraiser at Santia Hall.
But we'll have live entertainment the entire time. We're going to do some games out there, cornhole boards. We've got silent auctions. We've got raffles. And I've got all my staff coming. So you ever came to the Fork and Pint, you have a favorite server, you have you love the kid that came and took your plate, or you knew one of the chefs, they're all going to be there showing that they really appreciate the support that the community looks back to. And they're going to be cleaning up for Gino, making sure that while he gave us the space, space, we're not going to make him clean up after our party.
There you go. That's very mindful and considerate. Hey, William, last thing before I let you go very briefly. What can we expect from the new constructed Fork and Pint? Do we have a timeline, or what are we expecting just in the future?
Now, we have 100% plans to rebuild. We have to get insurance back. We have not even closed in on the city and the insurance. So we are up in the air right now on timelines. We're figuring it's going to be a little while before they get back to us.
Okay.
But bigger, better, stronger, faster. That's the American way, and that's what we love it. For us.
Come on, William. I love it. You talking now. Appreciate you so much. Good luck again, and we're hoping the community comes out to support. Once again, General Manager, Fork and Pint on Cass Lake Road in Waterford Township, William Schwab. Thank you again.
Thank you, Kevin, for having me, and thanks to the community of Waterford, Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, White Lake. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you out there.
That fundraiser Wednesday, June 18th, 6 p.m. to about 11 p.m. at Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. That's in Kego Harbor, Cass Lake Road, just a little bit north of Orchard Lake in the heart of the lakes. You can't miss it. If you're not able to attend at Gino's on Wednesday night to support the staff over at Fork and Pint of Waterford on Cass Lake. More information on the fundraiser can be found on Gino's Facebook page at 1999 Cass LK RD. Again, the Facebook page for Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant with more info on this fundraiser, facebook.com/1999 Cass LK RD. As we celebrate Father's Day, our community recognizes the dads who go above and beyond, balancing family life, professional life, and everything in between. It's a question many fathers have. How can I do it all? Well, West Bloomfield resident Christopher Forbers has the answers. He's a father, an entrepreneur, a property management professional with sage advice for dads who want to have it all, and he joins us now on the Splash Live for more information. Christopher, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, good morning, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you on as we think about our dads and all the work that they're doing to balance being supportive fathers, of course, in the family life, to balance their professional life, to keep a roof over our heads, food on the table, support our family units, and, of course, build their dreams out as well. And so I would imagine the question so many dads in our communities have is, how can they balance being a business person, a professional, with still being a really good father at home?
Oh, that's a very good question. And the way that I would answer that question is you have to, of course, balance. And when it comes to balance, that means, you'd have to give a certain amount of time and energy towards each and every one of those specific things that we just talked about, that you just mentioned, family and work. So there has to be a balance where family should always come first. And me and my family, the way that I do things is there's God, then there's my family, and then there's work. So as long as you keep those things in perspective and have God leading the way and being first, I think that you'll do just fine.
And community support plays a big role in that as well. What are some of those supports in the community that you turn to? And you mentioned your faith plays a big role in that, but maybe some others on top of that also you may turn to help you fulfill that mission of God, family, work, and everything else.
Okay, so when it comes to family, I have 5 daughters. 3 by marriage and then 2 that I have. So we have a blended family. Mm-hmm. And as far as the community is concerned, I grew up in the city of Detroit and I played sports. And so I was always, my family always had that to lean on, the sports aspect of it, where the community would come together and, we would be in organized sports. And so I try to do that with my family as well. The 2 daughters that I still have that are in the house, the other 3 are grown, but the 2 that are there, they're teenagers, and they play sports, and I have them in those particular sports that they play, and then also any other school activities that they do as well. And me, as a person, I coach, so I do coach young kids. I coach a 10 and under baseball team, so that's the way that I help out in the community. And then again, sports were so very fundamental in who the person that I am today and the way that I look at things and my outlook in life. So, I've raised my daughters to be that way as well.
You're also a father who works in the professional life, who's been a successful entrepreneur, also working in property management presently, Christopher. And so, well, maybe how have your lessons that you've learned along your journey as a father helped you also along your journey as a business person?
Yeah, so being a father, you have to be very attentive. You have to listen to your kids, and you have to speak with them and talk to them, and find out what their needs are and what you can provide for them. And it works that way in the business world as well. My leadership is more so where I lead more with the carrot than the stick per se, meaning that, hey, we're all a team. We need to work together, and we need to move forward in a way that's best for us all as a team and a community. So I do that at home, and I also do that when it comes to business too. And the West Bloomfield community is a great community. I've been here for a couple of years now, and the folks that are around here, they seem to be very helpful. And I've always believed in it takes a village to raise a child. So, and I've met a lot of good people here, and we've all helped each other out. So it's been great. My experience for the 2 years that I've been living here has been wonderful.
We're celebrating Father's Day in the month of June, and with us for some fatherly advice for dads all across our community is one of Greater West Bloomfield's favorite dads, Christopher Forbers, on the Splash Live with us today. Christopher, for so many parents this time of the year, for many of these dads, it's their first Father's Day as a dad, or they're getting ready to be a father, and for both of those scenarios, it's perhaps their first time learning some of these lessons. So for people that are becoming first-time fathers, what's some of your best advice for them as they start this journey themselves?
Okay, well, pretty much I'll reiterate some of this. What I said in the beginning is,
Okay.
as long as you keep God first and you listen to your children and you check in with them and make sure that they're okay, and just make sure that you're being attentive. And I would say everything else will fall in line as long as you're putting God first and also listening to what they have to say. And then not only just listen to what they have to say if they come to you, but you should always go from time to time and speak to them, because a lot of times they don't know how to express what they're going through, or they feel like they're alone and they can't come to you. So sometimes as fathers, my advice to a new father is to keep that in mind, that, hey, I need to check in with my kid, speak with them, let them know that they're loved, and just be there for them as much as you possibly can.
In 2025, a good thing about life in the modern days is that men like us are starting to be more open with how we're feeling and how life is affecting us. And the classic dad tends to be the person that helps solve the problems, but doesn't necessarily be open about their own problems. But in 2025, how important do you believe that support system is for dads to not only be there to provide the advice and provide the guidance, but to then be able to take that guidance and ask for that help from their co-parent, from their kids, and of course from their community?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because it is very important that, as a parent, you not only are dealing with them and whatever it is that they're going through, but you need to let them know that your experiences and things that you've gone through can help them out as well. So yeah, it's very good that you can relate back to some things that you'd gone through as a child, and that helps them to open up once they hear that. And I can tell you, it definitely makes a difference that you are open and honest with them about anything and that you've gone through that's similar to that. It's just all about them being able to relate and you being able to relate to them. So yeah, those are very important things.
We're all looking for that perfect Father's Day gift to give to our dads. What would your advice be to, again, the kids, the co-parents, and the communities for how they can help dads be better dads now and in the future, and how they can start with that on Father's Day?
Oh, I would say Father's Day, a lot of times people think about getting gifts and things like that, and it's not. Father's Day shouldn't be about gift giving. It's just to remind fathers how important that they are and how much that you love them. Like a hug and I love you, Dad, goes a long way with me, and I'm sure most men are the same way when it comes to that. And it's not about what you give us, right? It's about, how you've accepted what we tried to instill in you and how appreciative you are. And that can be expressed not through gifts, but also, but by words, by deeds. So maybe you can get up and make dad breakfast or something like that. It doesn't have to take money or a lot of different things that you'd have to give to your father for Father's Day. I'm sure that any father who's worth his weight in salt would be more than happy to get, a breakfast or a big hug and a big kiss on Father's Day morning, and just tell them how much you appreciate them and love them. So
the best kind of quality you can give is quality time. Christopher Forbes is with us,
Yes,
a
sir.
father and an entrepreneur right here in Greater West Bloomfield. Christopher, before we let you go, anything else you'd like to say to our dads here in Greater West Bloomfield as we celebrate Father's Day?
Yes, I'd just like to say happy Father's Day to you all. Continue with the good work. And again, this community has been great to me. I've met a lot of good people. And again, we're all like a village, and it takes a village to raise children. So, hey, let's all stick together. Let's all be on one accord and on one side and keep doing what we've been doing so far. Stay involved and make sure that your neighbors, your neighbors, and that the neighbors know you. And I think everything else will fall in line, and we'll continue to have a great community as we have right now.
Well, Christopher, we appreciate your advice and appreciate your time as well. Happy Father's Day to you and to others in your family who are celebrating.
Thank you so much, and happy Father's Day to you and all the fathers out there.
Always appreciate it, Chris. Thank you so much for joining us today and for that great advice for fathers of all different experience levels, including especially those that are going to be celebrating their first Father's Day this June or very soon beyond that. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to take a break on the Splash Live. Plenty more to get to on the other side. So many football stars from right here close to home making their way to the NFL. But before they got there, they started at local football camps, and one of our greatest football stars is holding one for free very soon at West Bloomfield High School. We'll tell you about that next. Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. Missed one of our live broadcasts or one of your local municipal meetings? Check it out online at civiccentertv.com. Every meeting, show, and interview on demand. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
When you have a gambling problem, you have a money problem. Don't let your gambling cause you financial hardship. If you or someone you love is struggling with gambling, we can help. Get free confidential counseling and win your life back. Learn more at michigan.gov/problemgambling.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Splash Live, live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft. Thank you so much for joining us and for following along across our social media. Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, as well as on YouTube, X, and Instagram at Civic Center TV. Workouts are underway to prepare for the 2025 West Bloomfield Lakers football season, and all across the nation, Lakers legends are hard at work preparing to stake their claim to NFL roster spots. But before they get there, among the many prolific athletes who once donned the Laker green and white, arguably the greatest edge rusher in the MHSAA's history, also did as well. The Punisher, Brandon Davis Swain, is coming home to host his second annual football camp next next week, Saturday, June 21st. Football, of course, is family, and here to tell us more about the upcoming Brandon Davis Swain football camp is, well, let's call him the Grand Punisher, Brandon's father, Brandon Davis, with us on the Splash Live. Thank you so much for being with us, sir.
Thank you for having me. Hello, Civic Center TV.
Yeah, glad to have you on to talk about this. Such a fun camp last year when Brandon kicked this off for the first time before heading out to Boulder to start his college career at the University of Colorado. What can we expect in year number 2?
We're going to expect more fun, more, community engagement, connecting with the youth. It's going to be a great time, so come on out, bring the kids, bring the families. Everything is free, and we expect to have another good turnout and just keep chugging along.
And something that Brandon is doing in putting on this camp again this year, you mentioned it's free. Any kids can attend this event.
Yes.
There was that QR code. We'll have that up on the screen periodically throughout our conversation that you can scan to sign your kids up to join in on this camp. And part of the way that this becomes a free camp for these kids is Brandon's giving back, using his NIL funds to then fundraise to put on this camp. And there's also some help from Matthew Judon. How important was it for Brandon, for yourself, for your family, to put this camp on and make sure that it was free for kids, not only in Greater West Bloomfield, but surrounding areas to participate and learn?
Yeah, Metro Detroit, we wanted to make sure that the camp was free because we realized that it's guys that are already in the NFL making millions of dollars and charging kids. So me and Brandon, we sat down and we talked about it. We wanted to make sure that our camp is free for the kids. A lot of kids don't have $100, $150, so that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be forgotten about or to be able to come in an event also. So that's what it's for. That's why it's free. Matthew Judon, of course, is a great sponsor and a mentor of Brandon and have been for a long time, with coming back and giving jerseys to the high school and sponsoring his camp. So shout out to Matt Judon. We appreciate you as well.
And it's so important, too, because a lot of these camps that kids are going to, whether it's, as you mentioned, with professionals or with trainers, they're learning all these different skills, but they got to pay for it. There's that paywall in front of it. And football, as we mentioned earlier on, it's a family affair, whether it's within your team, within your local community. It's about bringing people together. And so it's also a great opportunity for these kids to get some of that specialized training from elite athletes without having to incur that cost. And they're going to have an opportunity to do that with Brandon and the team this year.
And also, Tyler, the inspiration, the motivation, right? The inspiration to see that, hey, you can do it too, and that's what it's about. It's about reaching back and making sure the next Brandon make it, that has the opportunity and give him the inspiration and showing him that, hey, it can be done.
Last summer, out at the first Brandon Davis Swain annual football camp, you had talked to me, and we had that presentation on CivicCenterTV.com, and you mentioned that part of the motivation behind this from your family's side was your mother, Brandon's grandmother, who was so involved in the community when you were growing up and even beyond that. How did she inspire both you and Brandon, in this case, in your organization of this football camp?
Oh, she inspired me tremendously. Brandon, unfortunately, was 6 months when she passed away, so he didn't get the full grasp of her. But she was in the community forever since I was young at Tyndall Recreation Center, Bustle Recreation Center, Clemente Recreation Center. She worked in them. She volunteered, was a mentor to the youth. And me seeing that coming up, I knew that that was my responsibility as well. To make sure that we give back, and I instilled that in Brandon also. So she was a great inspiration in what we're doing right now.
He is the father of Brandon Davis Swain, an all-time great West Bloomfield Lakers football player and a redshirt freshman at the University of Colorado, playing out in Boulder for Coach Deion Sanders. He'll be back in West Bloomfield June 21st for his second annual football camp. That'll be happening at West Bloomfield High School, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Registration is open as we speak, and it is open for kids 6 years old to 13 years old. Tell us more, Brandon, about that age group and why that's the target group here for this particular football camp.
Because that's the elementary kids, right? That's the middle school kids. You know, that's a pivotal time, right? Yeah. And in a young man's or young woman's life. We're accepting young ladies too as well. And to figure out what they want to do, what they're inspired about, and if football is one of their inspirations, come out. You know, and that's what it's about, just inspiring the youth. That age group is a very, you know, you're going through puberty, you're trying to figure yourself out. It's you going through life at that age and trying to figure out who you're going to become. So we want to target that age group right there, right before they get to high school. We'll take some 14-year-olds as well, you know, if they're 14. There's no problem signing them up also.
And that camp is still registration open as we speak. It's happening about a week from when we're talking live here on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM to Brandon Davis, the father of Brandon Davis Swain. We'll put that QR code up again here in just a moment. There, you see it on your screen. We'll leave it up there for a moment so you can scan that. That'll take you to the website where you can sign your kids up. 6 to 13 years old is the target age group, as Brandon said. Some 14-year-olds also will be accepted into this camp, space permitting, and it's going to be at West Bloomfield High School. Brandon, we've explored so much in the past, and I've talked with your son specifically about this as he was getting ready to leave West Bloomfield High School, how leadership along his journey from Ron Bellamy, from Coach Hilbers, from Tyrese Grice, and so many others that had coached him during his time here in the greater West Bloomfield area helped to inspire him. Now that he's at the college level, he's getting a different level of leadership, but we're seeing a lot of those leadership qualities and those principles that Deion Sanders talks about so much when he's speaking on the Colorado football program. How do you think that has been soaked in by your son and inspired him in efforts like this in his hometown?
Well, you know, just him being a leader by his actions. Brandon is a leader by his actions, and the people that you just named, you know, they led by action. You know, from all the way from Bellamy to Grice to all of his high school coaches. Shout out to everybody, you know, his D-line coaches, Coach Ivy, and all of the whole staff to where he's at now with Warren Sapp and Deion Sanders. These guys are great men. You know, these guys are men of integrity and helping the young man and the youth, you know, become great at what they want to be in life. And we need those kind of people. We need those men to come in and kind of navigate, right, the youth. And that's what it's about, to come navigate these young men to where they want to be, because these guys are the people that know and see the talent and the potential in these young men.
And they need leaders in their community. They need the adults, the coaches, the football fanatics, the experts to get involved. They need people to sponsor these events. So if people do want to get involved and they do want to sponsor these sorts of efforts with Brandon or with others, how do you suggest they get involved, either in this event or future ones?
Yeah, please get in contact with me. We need the community. Brandon is we're finding as many sponsors as possible, but anything that we don't have, he's using his own NIL money to go and put in the event to make sure that we have everything that we need. So we need the community to come in. We're looking for still all kind of different sponsorships. We'll take money, we'll take Gatorades, we'll take waters, we'll take anything to give away to the kids. It's all free, so you can get in touch with me and contact with me. My phone number, we can put it up on the screen. It's 586-625-0164. You can contact me and become a sponsor. Come help the youth. Come on out and see what we're doing. Also, we're inviting you everyone out to come on out June 21st.
And we want to help you get those sponsors as well. We know the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce has so many resources, businesses that are looking to help out in these sorts of ways. They want to get their names out there, and they want to get more involved in the community. So here's what we'll do, Brandon. We're about to wrap up. We got to get going. But on the other side, we'll have you connect with our Zoom producer, and he'll give you the contact info for the director of the Chamber of Commerce, excuse me, and she may be able to get you even more resources into that. But in the meantime, if you have a business in Greater West Bloomfield, you want to sponsor this event, help the kids get into the game of football and give back with one of our greatest football stars ever here in Greater West Bloomfield in Brandon Davis Swain. The phone number 586-625-0164. We'll put the QR code up there one more time as well for the football camp happening on Saturday, June 21st at West Bloomfield High School. Scan that, even more information, even more contacts. In the meantime, Brandon, I want to thank you so much for your time today and your continued support of our community. community.
Thank you. Also, we are a nonprofit real quick, so anything over $250 is a tax write-off. So we are a nonprofit second year 501c3 accredited.
All the more reason to get involved, whether you're a business, an individual, and just a football fan here in Greater West Bloomfield. Always appreciate it, Brandon, and we will see you next week Saturday at your son's football camp.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, CCTV.
Appreciate it as always. Brandon Davis, the Grand Punisher, his son, the Punisher himself, Brandon Davis Swain, returning close to home to the Swamp at West Bloomfield High School Saturday, June 21st. The football camp is 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Lessons, some scrimmaging, a lot of fun, a lot of games, activities, getting to mix and mingle with some of the best football stars across our local area in Southeast Michigan, and it is free for the kids to attend and have fun. We'll look forward to that as well. More coverage right here on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. That's all the time we have. Want to remind you can always follow along on civiccentertv.com and across our social media. Facebook, Civic Center TV 15, YouTube, X, Instagram at Civic Center TV. For our entire team, I'm Tyler Kieft. Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.